Hey there, I'm a cute Koala and I live in the beautiful Australia with my family and friends. I know you human loves me. Today, I'm going to take you on a fun journey to explore my home and how it's connected to all the different spheres on Earth. We will see how each sphere plays a special role in my life and how human activities impact my world. Let's get started and have some fun together. My family and I live in the eucalyptus tree forests of Australia. These trees are deep-rooted and rich in oils, providing us with the perfect environment in which to grow. It not only provides us with shade and protection, but also supports the ecosystems on which we depend. My favorite food is also the leaves of this tree. It's really good. Do you want to try? Our Koala family have lived in Australia for millions of years. We used to roam vast areas of this beautiful country, but now we mainly make our home in the eucalyptus tree forests of Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, and South Australia. Now let me introduce you to my world, which is made up of four main spheres: the lithosphere, sometimes called the geosphere, the hydrosphere, the atmosphere, and the biosphere. The air around me is part of atmosphere. I rely on it every day. The climate here in Australia needs to be just right for me and my favorite food to survive. When the air gets too hot or too dry, it affects the trees in my house. Also, clean air is super important. If there is some smoke for wildfire or pollution, it can make me really sick. I need fresh air to breathe. About the hydrosphere, water is a big deal for me. Even though you might not see me drink often, I get most of my water from the juicy leaves. But during really hot times, I need to find some extra water to stay hydrated. Rivers and streams nearby help keep the trees healthy and give me a drink when I need it. If the water sources dry up or get polluted, both of the trees and I suffer. The ground I live on is a part of the lithosphere. It's not just the land and rocks to me, it's my home. The soil needs to be rich and healthy for the trees to grow well. If humans dig up the land, build roads or make cities, it breaks up my home and makes it hard for me to find food. Good soil and stable land help keep the forests alive, which means I can keep thriving and mulching leaves. Last, it's biosphere. Actually, I'm part of biosphere, which is all the living things on Earth. My family, the trees, and all other animals in forest are connected. We are dependent on each other. The trees give me food and a place to live. In return, I help the trees by spreading their seeds. But when humans cut down the forests, we're gonna lose our home, and the whole system gets out of balance. So keeping the biosphere healthy is a key to my survival. As I said, I need a stable and balanced environment. Unfortunately, human activities are destroying the balance. They cut down forests for urban development, destroying my home and food sources. They are bringing more roads and buildings for urbanization, bringing up my habitat and making it harder for me to move around and find food. Climate change caused by human activities is change weather patterns, leading to more frequent droughts and wildfires. These fires are nothing short of catastrophic, burning large areas of forest and depriving me of my home and food. The smoke and heat from the fires are also harmful to my health. Australia's climate is challenging to recover once it has been damaged, largely due to its unique geographic history. Millions of years ago, all continents were part of one giant supercontinent called Pangaea. Over time, Pangaea began to split into smaller pieces. One of those pieces was Gondwana, which include what we now know as South America, Africa, India, and Australia. As good would not continue to break apart. Australia started to drift away, slowly but surely, isolating itself from other land masses. This isolation was essential because it allowed unique plants and animals like me to enjoy without much competition or neutral predators. Australia's climate is also a big reason why I grew up here. The weather here is just right, not too hot, not too cold. The continent's climate ranges from tropical in the north to temperature in the south, creating a variety of ecosystems. Another advantage of living in Australia is a relatively mild and stable climate. Unlike other places, Australia has fewer extreme seasonal changes, so I can enjoy my leaf green trees all year round. The temperature conditions means I don't need to worry about the harsh winters or summers, allowing me to maintain a consistent lifestyle throughout the year. So, thanks to the slow dance of the conditional drift and Australia's unique climate, we have found a safe and comfortable home here. The combination of geological changes and the environmental factors has created the perfect conditions for us koalas to survive. This is why you won't find me anywhere else in the world. As you have seen, this geological history is essential for understanding the environment our koala live in today. But the story of our land doesn't end there. The land continues to change and evolve due to various forces that shapes it. Weathering, erosion, rivers, and valleys all play an important role in transforming the landscape and affecting all living creatures, including us koalas. So right now, let's explore how these nature processes impact our environment. Weathering and erosion are two important processes that continually reshape the land, and they have a huge impact on my life. Weathering breaks down rocks into smaller particles, forming the soil that supports all the plant life around here. In my home, weathering creates the fertile soil necessary for the growth of the eucalyptus trees, my favorite food. There are different types of weathering: physical, chemical, and biological. Physical weathering might involve temperature changes, causing rocks to crack, while chemical weathering involves reactions with water and air that dissolve our outer minerals. Biological weathering is caused by plants and animals, like tree roots breaking rocks apart. Erosion, on the other hand, involves the movement of soil and rock particles by wind, water, or ice. These processes can dramatically change the landscape over time. For instance, heavy rainfall can lead to significant soil erosion, washing away the topsoil that eucalyptus trees need to survive. Without the nutrient-rich layer, tree growth slows down, and my food supply diminishes. In this way, weathering and erosion directly affect the quality of my habitat. As the soil composition changes, so does the vegetation, impacting not only my food sources, but also the overall biodiversity of the area. So, these changes have a direct impact on my life. When heavy rain washes away the topsoil, the eucalyptus trees struggle to grow, which means fewer leaves for me to eat. Without enough food, I cannot maintain my health and energy. The changes in vegetation also means the other animals in my habitat are affected, distorting the balance of our ecosystem. Rivers and valleys are another critical aspect of the forces shaping the land. Rivers curve through the landscape, creating valleys and fertile plains. These water bodies are essential for sustaining the vegetation that forms my habitat. In Australia, rivers like the Mary and Darling are lifelines, providing water to vast regions and supporting diverse ecosystems. As rivers flow, they erode the land, enrich the soil in valleys. These fertile areas support the dense eucalyptus tree forests, offering food and shelter for me and other wildlife. When the soil is rich and fertile, eucalyptus trees grow tall and strong, giving me plenty of leaves to munch on and branches to rest on. However, during the dry season, rivers can shrink or dry up, putting pressure on the plants and animals that depend on them. The dry season can be difficult and I have to save my energy to find the best place to forage. On the other hand, during the rainy season, river flows, deposits nutrient-rich soil that brings the landscape back to life. This helps the eucalyptus trees grow lush and provides me with a rich diet. The ever-changing flow patterns of the river also create a different habitats, which are essential for the different stages of my life and for the other species with which I share with my habitat. From the river banks to the high branches of the eucalyptus trees, every part of my home plays a role in keeping the ecosystem balanced and surviving. Understanding the critical role that rivers and valleys play in shaping my habitat is just one piece of the puzzle. Equally important are temperature and climate controls that define the living conditions in Australia. These factors not only influence the health of the eucalyptus tree forests, but also directly affect my day-to-day life at Koala. Australia's climate is determined by factors such as its position on the Earth, its elevation and proximity to the ocean. These factors create a special environment in which I live. As a Koala, extreme temperature can be hard on me. In the heat of summer, temperatures can be very high, making it difficult for me to stay cool. Koalas not like humans do, so I rely on the shade of the trees to keep me cool. Sometimes I will cuddle up against a cool tree to lower my body temperature. Heat waves can cause heat stress, which affects my health and ability to find food. Cool temperatures can also be a problem. Although Australian winters are usually mild, sudden cold weather can make it difficult for me to keep warm. Koalas have thick fur, but we are not suited to cold temperatures. We rely on the warmth of the sun and the shelter provided by the tree to keep us warm. Rainfall patterns are another important part of climate control. Regular rainfall keeps the forest healthy and ensures the trees grow the leaves I need. Climate change is making things even more difficult. As global temperature rises, we will experience more extreme weather events. This means more heat waves, rainfall, and longer droughts. All of this change put extra pressure on me. The changing climate makes it harder for me and other animals to live. As we wrap up this journey on my home, let's quickly recap how everything is connected. Global environmental issues and sustainability show how the Earth's spheres, biosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere interact and how human activities impact these spheres, influencing my habitat. Composition of Earth and plate tectonics reveal how continental drift shaped Australia, creating a unique environment, perfect for my eucalyptus trees and me. Forces like weathering, erosion, rivers, and valleys create fertile soil and provide essential water. Lastly, weather and climate, including temperature controls and extreme weather, directly affect the health of my habitat and my well-being. All these elements are essential, creating a balance that supports not just me, but the entire ecosystem. Understanding and protecting this balance is important for our beautiful planet. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Let's work together to protect our beautiful world for our future generations.